COVID guidance gets a major shakeup. Trump hikes visa fees to six figures, and what the Farmer's Almanac says about fall. Plus, security is ramping up in Phoenix for Charlie Kirk's memorial service, what Costco shoppers are rushing to grab before it disappears. And today's trivia, which condiment was once sold as medicine? It's Sunday, September 21st, and this is the Flyover Podcast. Welcome to the Flyover Podcast, taking you above the noise for an unbiased, high-altitude view of today's headlines with daily coverage that's honest and refreshing. Let's cruise the news and land the facts. Hello and welcome. Happy Sunday. I'm Amy Hess, your weekend host. Time is flying by with the first day of fall around the corner. Can you believe it? I'm ready for a little cooler weather. How about you? We've got a lot ahead for you today, so buckle up and let's get ready for takeoff. A CDC advisory panel voted unanimously Friday to change its COVID-19 guidance. Instead of recommending that everyone 6 months and older get the shot every year, the panel now says vaccination should be based on individual decision-making. Earlier this year, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. replaced all 17 members of that panel, saying he wanted to, quote, reestablish public confidence in vaccine science. The committee also voted to recommend delaying the use of the combined measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox vaccine, suggesting two separate vaccines instead. Meanwhile, President Trump signed a proclamation Friday raising the annual fee for H-1B visa applications to $100,000. That's a sharp jump from the current range of about $1,700 to $4,500. Tech companies bring in 85,000 foreign workers each year under the program for jobs that can be hard to fill with U.S. citizens and permanent residents. Those workers often earn about $60,000, much lower than the six-figure salaries typically paid to U.S. tech employees. Last year, Amazon was the top recipient of H-1B visas with more than 10,000, followed by Tata Consultancy, Microsoft, Apple, and Google. And looking ahead, the old Farmer's Almanac is forecasting a warm, dry fall for most of the U.S. The Northeast and desert Southwest are expected to be cool and dry. The Almanac says its long-range predictions based on solar science, climatology, and meteorology are accurate about 80% of the time. Fall officially begins Monday with the autumn equinox, when the Earth's axis tilts so that neither hemisphere leans toward or away from the sun. A separate publication, the Farmer's Almanac, offers its own forecast. You can find its 2025 autumn outlook with a link in today's show notes. Now, here are some extra stories just for you, our podcast listeners. You won't find these in the email. First, the Department of Homeland Security has threatened lawsuits against so-called sanctuary states like California, New York, and Illinois over immigration enforcement. In letters sent September 10th, DHS warned the states that refusing to honor thousands of ICE detainers could trigger federal legal action. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons gave state attorney generals 2 days to declare whether they would comply. ICE detainers are formal requests asking local jails to notify the agency before releasing individuals and to briefly hold them so federal agents can take custody. Next, President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will attend the UN General Assembly's High-Level Week in New York. Starting Monday, they plan to promote what the administration calls, quote, American values, including peace, sovereignty, and liberty, during 4 days of global meetings. And finally, Costco fans, take note. A favorite bakery item is back, but maybe not for long. The Kirkland signature butter cinnamon sugar loaf has returned after years of disappearing and reappearing on shelves. Shoppers last spotted it in 2023, and now they're rushing to grab it before it vanishes again. One fan even went so far as to hunt for a copycat recipe online when the loaf disappeared. So if you see one at your Costco, you better get it while you can. I have to tell you, I've been drinking Native Hydrate, and now my whole family has gotten hooked on it too. I actually have to share. Most of us know hydration is essential to just about every function in the body, but 75% of Americans still don't drink enough fluids every day. And as we age, it gets even harder to stay hydrated. That's why I love Native Hydrate. It's not just another drink mix. It's a clean formula with electrolytes, branched chain amino acids, and all 9 essential amino acids to support hydration, energy, and muscle health. Unlike other hydration mixes that can pack in 1,000 milligrams of sodium, way more than most of us need, Native Hydrate has just 230 milligrams, making it perfect for everyday use. It's sugar-free, only 5 calories, and every order comes with a 365-day money-back guarantee. So if you want to give your body the hydration it needs, visit nativehydrate.com/flyover. That's nativehydrate.com/flyover and try it risk-free. Trust me, once you taste it, you'll understand why my family keeps raiding the stash. My favorite flavor is tangerine, so I ended up hiding those, but shh, don't tell my kiddos. Click for a link in today's show notes. Still ahead, Clayton Kershaw adds another iconic moment to his Hall of Fame career and a big divisional rematch in the NFL. But first, here's finance. Here are the top stories in finance. On Wall Street, Apple's new iPhone 17 hit store shelves worldwide Friday with a base price of $799. The iPhone Air starts at $999 and the iPhone 17 Pro at $1,099. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ all reached record highs Friday, fueled by continued gains in the so-called Magnificent Seven tech stocks. And online ticket vendor StubHub saw shares drop 10% Friday, its third straight day of losses since going public Wednesday. The stock is now down 21% from its IPO price of $23.50. Let's check in on how the markets performed this past week. The NASDAQ gained 1.75%, the S&P 500 rose 0.92%, and the Dow climbed just over 1%. Bitcoin edged up 0.25%, and gold rose nearly 0.87% to close at $3,671.50 an ounce. Time to check the scoreboard. Los Angeles Dodgers legend Clayton Kershaw added another iconic moment to his Hall of Fame career Friday night, striking out 6 in his final home start ahead of retirement and helping the Dodgers clinch a postseason berth. Over in the NFL, it's a full Sunday slate of games, including a divisional round rematch between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. And finally, Kenyan runner Emmanuel Wanyani won the men's 800-meter event at the World Athletic Championships Tokyo 25 with a championship record of 1 minute, 48.86 seconds. Coming up, security on par with the Super Bowl, what Americans think about late-night TV, and a new fall lineup. But first, a new section we rolled out, special just for you, our Sunday followers. Time for Whatever Happened To, where we dust off something we all used to know, but now ask, where did it go and why? For today, that question is, whatever happened to telephone books? There was a time when every home had at least one phone book, usually 2, white pages for residential numbers, yellow pages for businesses. Today, you'd be hard-pressed to find one, and technology is only part of the story. In the 1990s, the Yellow Pages were an $11 billion advertising machine. The business kept growing right up until 2007, when the iPhone arrived and changed everything. Within 5 years, about half the country owned a smartphone. Landlines faded, internet search took over, and the value of printed directories plunged. Privacy expectations shifted too. Fewer people wanted their numbers and addresses listed, and the cost and waste of printing and delivering all those books became hard to justify. What's left today are niche or opt-in directories, often for rural areas or seniors, plus online Yellow Pages sites. For most of us, the phone book is now the contacts app on our phone. Do you miss phone books at all? Do you still have one? Reply in the comments and let us know. Let's start our descent with a few headlines we thought you needed to know. Authorities say security for Charlie Kirk's memorial service today in Phoenix is at the level used for a Super Bowl, just one step below what's in place for the Olympics or a presidential inauguration. President Trump predicted the Senate's budget standoff will cause a temporary government shutdown, but says it won't affect Social Security, the military, or other priority programs. A new poll shows most Americans aren't watching late-night talk shows, with many saying the shows today are too political and too mean-spirited. And speaking of television, the lineups for fall TV season is taking shape, with network premieres scheduled through mid-October. Looking for a new or favorite show besides the Flyover podcast, of course? We've got it linked in today's show notes. Time for pole position, where we turn the mic over to you. Yesterday we asked, do you plan to attend a state fair this year? Here's how you answered. 63% said no, 19% said yes, and 18% of you already did. All right, for today's question, do you have an active passport? Your options are yes or no. You can cast your vote using the link in the show notes, and Ayla will have the results for you tomorrow. All right, time's up. Today's trivia question was, which condiment was originally sold as a medicine? The answer? Ketchup. It traces its roots to an Asian fish sauce called ketchup or geechup. I'll let you decide, Ge-THCUP, which European traders brought back and transformed into a condiment. In 1812, James Mead created the first tomato-based ketchup, though at the time, tomatoes were widely mistrusted. That changed in the 1830s when Dr. John Cook Bennett promoted ketchup as a cure for ailments, even selling it in pill form. That sparked a booming industry for tomato ketchup and pills. Now, I don't know about you, but in my house, my kids still treat ketchup like it's medically necessary, especially if there are French fries involved. And that brings us in for a landing. Thanks so much for spending your Sunday with me. Don't forget, you can get local headlines from our 9-state editions at jointheflyover.com. And if we don't have your state yet, let us know in the comments. The always fun and informative Ayla Brown will be back with you tomorrow. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, thanks for flying with us.